where I came from, where I am today, and then the light bulb pops in my head. Keep going. Is it recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I look clear now?
You look much clearer.
All right.
We're in Yokus Focus.
I'm going to do this all over again. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Why don't you just go where you left off?
Through my teenage years, I've been through a lot, as I said before. And I have a lot to talk about in my life. But I have conquered so much, and I'm proud to be where I'm at today. Now, through my younger years, when I was an early teenager, I went through a lot of sudden changes. I went to the hospital. I was depressed all the time. I was suicidal. I just didn't know the answers to my life and what I need to really do with my life. Now, when I wanted to do what's right, I will always be depressed. And I just didn't know really what to do about myself. So I went to the hospital, and they actually, tried to help me. And I went to a lot of hospitals. I didn't just go to one. I think I've been to almost every one across New Jersey. Now, the problem is with that was I didn't, in your life, when you don't have nobody to actually love you and take care of you, everything's on yourself. Your problems, lack of love, lack of attention, lack of everything. In my experience, I've been through a lot, and I had to actually try to help myself on my own. So when I went to the hospital, these people were like, "Oh, you're here again. Will you do this wrong?" And I say, "Oh, my life is hard and it's just terrible." But growing up, what I missed and what I didn't realize was that I need to stop asking for help myself first. So then when these people help me, they could actually help me and things will start to change in my life. So from 14 to 15 to 16, that's when things started getting worse for me. That's when I started experiencing depression. I didn't know what to do. Me and my mother, my adopted mother, was actually fighting all the time. It came to a point where she kicked me out. It came to a point where I was eating out of dumpsters. And you look at me today and you say, this guy was eating out of a dumpster. Yes, I actually was. That's how hard my life actually got. But I didn't give up. I didn't give up. As many times she kicked me out the house, I always tried to find a way to make things better for myself. So after dozens of hospitalizations, I came to realize that this is not going to help me. I was always a person that refused to take medication. I didn't like medication at all. I actually thought medication was like the worst thing in the world. I tried it a couple of times. It didn't work out for me because I didn't like to be controlled. I was always against control, authority. I didn't like authority at all. When I went to school, I was always in the hallways, running around the hallways, not in the class. That was me. But as I got older, I started to realize the reality of my life. I really need help. And I realized that I'm not going to get help from getting and finding love. I'm going to get help from helping myself. So around 16, 17 years old, I stopped going to those hospitals. I stopped going because I realized that the system is not going to help me. I started realizing that the system don't care about you. In reality, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to go to these places. I'm going to tell you reality. Gets paid to have you in certain places. Jail, hospitalizations. The insurance companies pay the hospitals for you to have you there. So basically, there are very few people in the state of New Jersey that will actually help you and actually help you for who you are. But in realization, I started to realize after 18 hospitalizations that this is not going to work. That, I really need to take care of this. So I started taking medicine again. After I got talked into it and I realized that this is what I need to do, I need to start taking care of this problem and stop playing around and stop, doing the mind reading thing where, I'm looking like this, I'm cutting like this, I'm overdosing like this, help me. And I started taking my medicine. And then things in my life started to change. I started to actually sit down and say, this is what I need to do. This is what I don't need to do. I really need to get myself together. Because going to these hospitals is just bringing me a setback. In reality, what these people want to do is see you not come here. They want to see you help yourself. Take help from what they give you. And then at the same time, there's those little people who don't want to help you. They just go to work to get a paycheck. But after 16, 17 years old, 18, I was doing music a lot. I had a hobby of writing music all the time. Poems, that's where I started from. And I started to realize that, music is my outlet. I've been doing music since I was 13 years old. Writing, rapping, and this is what actually helped me. And I started to channel through that. And I started to say, I have, after I wrote a song, I started to realize I have something that is amazing. It's so amazing. And I was like, wow, man. It helped with my depression. It helped with, my thought. I stopped going to the hospital. I started realizing this is my antidote. This is what is going to help me. So I started doing music. I made an album. I made another album. Things started changing in my life. I started to believe in a higher calling. I started to believe in God. I started reading my Bible. I started getting myself on the right track. Suicide was not the answer for me. I wanted to live. Not knowing my family was a setback to me. Not having friends was a setback to me. Not being able to see my brother and sister was a setback to me. So I narrowed those things out in my life and started taking up music. Started making a few albums later, about 5 albums later, things started changing in my life. I started building up a fan base. I got to over 5,000 people that actually liked my stuff. 10,000, 15,000, 100,000. Things started changing. I started exploring my talent. I like to write. I like to do film making. I like to, do public speeches of what I could do. I'm still learning. But with the little bit that I have, I can teach others. I built up a point in my life where I have experience. And I can help others and motivate them, help them. That's what I want to do. And that's why I'm here today, to give you advice that if you're in the hard part in your life and that you need help, then what you need to do is help yourself first and start taking things down, pros and cons, changing your life. Because nobody's going to change it for you. Life is serious. And that's what I realized. Now, when I started exploring my hidden talent, things started changing in my life. I started to realize why I'm here. Why those suicide attempts didn't work. And now I'm here to where I am today. I started, doing a lot more music. Doors started opening. I started being in magazines. I started to become a public figure. People started recognizing me. But if you look back at where I came from, you wouldn't notice who I am today. I started opening doors. You know, I refuse to let negativity influence my life. I refuse to let not having a family, overdosing, you're a piece of all those things influence me. I had to break the chain that was connected to see a better life. And that's what I did. And now, I became so good at what I'm doing, people who look up to me. Why? How did I get here where I am today? I broke the chain. I started helping myself. I started leaving the hospitals alone. I started taking my medicine. I started realizing that life is to be taken for granted. Because if you don't take life for granted, then how are you supposed to live? How are you supposed to, see yourself? Looking out the windows being locked up in the hospital is not going to help you. I think that's sort of like a prison. Taking your medicine, achievements, setting goals is what's going to help you. When a person goes to jail, that's a setback, right? Right? That's a setback. So going to the hospital will be a setback. Going to a counselor will be a step forward. Finding your purpose in life will be a step forward. Doing the right things will be a step forward. The only way you can achieve in life is if you find out who you are. Who you need to be. Feeling sorry for yourself is not going to help you. Because at the end of the day, there are people out there that, done to me, that not going to care. So, through 19 and 20 years old, I started dating a lot of women. And
all right, now the good part. Here we go.
I started dating a lot of women, and if I'm not gonna find love from family, where am I gonna find it from? How does a man find love? You can't. So my brother, he was always in the hospital. When he started going to the hospital, he was like 18 years old. He's 30-something years old, about 31, and he's still going back and forth to the hospital. He suffers from a different mental illness. I'm not going to say his name, and I'm not going to tell you what mental illness he suffers from because that's his privacy. But he started, looking up to me. And he saw me go to the hospital a lot, so he just started, going to the hospital more. I'm not saying the hospital won't help you, but I'm just saying if you're going there because, just somewhere to go so you can try to protect yourself and not help yourself, it's not going to work. It works both ways. So when I started changing my life around and started experiencing my music and started sending these emails to these record labels and, doing these things, he's my bigger brother. And he started looking up to me when I started changing my life. Now he's trying to do DJ, He's trying to be a DJ because I changed myself. So I think about if I didn't change myself, what would he be like? So 19, 20, 21 years old, I started dating women a lot. And I mean a lot. There's a little pot, a little spot in me that was empty. I wanted love, I needed love, and I thought bringing a woman in my life and being with her was going to bring me love. I was wrong. I was so wrong. I was so wrong. It was not the answer. And I started realizing that God is the answer. That inspiration, that motivational thing that I was doing was the answer. Surrounding myself with positive people, because that's what you got to do. Surrounding yourself with positive people was the answer to me. So as I was dating women, I started getting hurt. Now, they say in order for you to give respect, you gotta, for you to get respect, you gotta give it. So I gave love for exchange for love. So I won't start thinking about, my life and, oh crap, I overdosed and everything and, but that didn't work, fortunately. So women started cheating on me. And I started thinking to myself, what's the problem? Why? I'm doing what's right. Again, that wasn't the answer. Dating women was not the answer. That wasn't going to fill in these potholes I had in my life. Now, I was doing music still, and I'm still doing music to this very day. I got 7 albums. I'm working on my 7th one. I finished it. Working on my 8th album now. I'm going to start recording my 7th album this year. I'm working on 2 movies. One's called Pyramid Society. The other one's called Paying Forward. Now, Paying Forward is about finding the source about giving back, enlightening people to give back, raising awareness to give back. That's what I want to do. Because this stuff changed my life. I went from overdosing to being in the hospital to being who I am and where I am today. That's what I did to change my life. Now, there's a lot of things in my life that I left out, but I feel like they're not an asset to this. They're not going to help people. If I keep talking about, oh, I was down and out in this situation, down and out in that situation, how are you guys supposed to learn from that? It's just like me talking about your life and all the bad things you did. You feel ashamed about yourself instead of me just uplifting and saying, hey, this is the achievements I did. You can do the same thing. I came from a hard life, but I am happy to be where I am today. I still can't believe I'm where I am today. And I still got a long ways to go. But often at times I think about my life. When I'm depressed at home, I start thinking about where I came from, where I am today. And then the light bulb pops in my head. Keep going. So right around 22, 23, 24 years old, I started being a positive figure to myself. I left everything else out alone. Because this is where I wanted to go with my life. To this day, like I said, still don't know my parents and everything. They live in the same state. But I didn't let that bring me down. I didn't let that bring me down. And I'm telling you today that if you just be positive, know what you want to do in life, do things that make you happy, your life will change. It will change. In the quote.